this. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this.
This is the story of one of the biggest robberies in American history. A robbery so big, its impact can still be felt 150 years later. And like most of the biggest robberies in the world, nobody was punished. Picture this. It's 1865. The US Civil War has just ended. The Confederacy is over, and with it, slavery. Formerly enslaved people who fought for the Union during the Civil War had received something for the first time in their lives: a salary. In some places, the military established small banks for these soldiers to deposit their new earnings, and understanding that millions of newly freed people should be integrated into the economic system, Congress decided to expand on that idea and created the Freedmen's Bank. The bank was clearly defined as a savings institution. It would not give out loans, and the deposits would only be invested in relatively safe government-backed securities. It was supposed to help black families earn money on their deposits and increase financial literacy. The bank was initially quite successful, quickly expanding to 37 branches across the country. More than 100,000 people opened accounts. Most deposits were small, less than $60. But the small deposits reflected a bigger hope. This period in US history is called Reconstruction, when black people were promised equality and the chance to build wealth. But none of that happened. A few things about the Freedmen's Bank. First, even though the bank was created by Congress and marketed to black people as a way to safely invest their savings, the deposits were not protected by the government. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which insures most bank deposits in the US, wouldn't exist for another 70 years. And second, despite being created for black people and hiring black people to work in its branches, the bank had an all-white board of trustees. Third, in 1870, that all-white board convinced Congress to change the bank's charter, allowing it to make riskier investments and give out loans. The bank's customers were not told about this change. The board started investing in risky projects and giving out loans to their friends. Some of the trustees were in charge at other banks, and incredibly, they would make bad loans there and then transfer them to the Freedmen's Bank's books. This was corruption and theft, and in a country still dealing with the economic fallout of a civil war, it was also a disaster. A financial panic in 1873 made many of the board's loans and investments worthless. Panicked customers made runs on several branches, desperate to get their money out. And so, in 1874, Frederick Douglass, yes, the famous abolitionist, was brought on to serve as president of the Freedmen's Bank. He'd always been a strong supporter and put a lot of his own money into the bank. The hope was that his presence would reassure customers, but it didn't take him long to realize the scale of the disaster. The bank shut down a few weeks later. It had lost $3 million, $72 million in today's money. But that number doesn't really capture the full cost of the wealth that this money could have built over generations. Instead, thousands of families, many of whom had recently been enslaved, lost everything. Congress did authorize depositors to get back some of what they were owed, but most were unable to be paid, and others spent years or decades filing claims. Meanwhile, none of the men who ran the bank into the ground ever faced legal action. It was a crushing blow to hopes for black economic prosperity, and just 3 years later, the federal government pulled its troops out of the South. Reconstruction was over, and the old social hierarchy was back. Over the next 150 years, the broken promises and theft of this period played out over and over again for black Americans. From the return of slave labor in prisons and the profitability of mass incarceration to Jim Crow laws, segregation, and lynchings. From voter suppression and inequality under the law to the urban policies that created impoverished neighborhoods, the banking rules that denied black people loans, and the housing covenants that kept them out of better homes. From the destruction of Black Wall Street in Oklahoma to the predatory lending schemes that cost millions of people, disproportionately black, their homes and wealth in the 2008 financial crisis. Today, the average white family has 7 times the wealth of the average black family. The legacy of the Freedmen's Bank is still alive.
All right.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? That's just one of our topics for today.
You forgot to say shucky ducky.
Bernard, shucky ducky.
Right. Brother, you hear or not, you have to be consistent. It's called continuity, okay?
Okay.
And as always,
go ahead.
Hello, boys and ladies, wherever you are. You understand we have a show to do. You got people in California. You got people in New Jersey. You got people, guess what, in Florida. I'm asking you to please be on time. You know who you are. Do I have to call your name? Do I? Because I will. Listen, we got a great show tonight. And I'll be perfectly honest. Not only the Freedmen Bank cost people money, we got politicians right now are doing it out of their mouth, hurting us when they say stuff like, we don't need no one to represent us because we the majority of what with no money, economic make decision. So we'll discuss that later. We got a great show tonight. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Like I always tell my friend Julius, I'd rather be seen than viewed because I could be viewed. Okay, so y'all know where I'm coming from. So Sean, how you been doing?
I've been all right. I'm in Charleston hanging out with my brothers and nephews. Right now I'm on my sister front porch. It's my brother Pete, he's a semi-famous rapper here in Charleston.
Oh, semi-famous, okay. when you say semi-famous, about 4 or 5 people might know who he is, correct?
Exactly.
To be perfectly honest with you.
And he don't know them.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. Sean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I wasn't thinking about Christmas till I saw your outfit. Now I got to worry about buying presents already.
Wow.
Why are you bringing Christmas in September to me?
Hey,
you shouldn't do me like this.
It's only around the corner.
It started getting cold, and I said I needed the sun. I needed to absorb some of the sun rays.
Okay, and red draw heat.
Red draw heat.
You're right. The police will give you a ticket too in a red car. You're absolutely right.
Hey, you know what?
Julius,
to tell you
what
the
you
truth,
been up to?
Just working real hard, Charlie. I work so hard, I don't have enough time in the day. And then when I finally just shut down, I don't want to do nothing. So,
right. You know something? I did ask you a question, but what I find interesting, either you've been in a climate where it's snow or you got a bad case of dandruff. Your hair look mighty white tonight. I'm just wondering what's going on.
I don't know why my hair's so white. I try to keep it cut so it won't be showing so bad.
Okay.
That's just part of it.
We all can go to the same. We all can do our hair. Go to the barber that just do our hair in the dark, like Mr. Brown.
That's what Mr. Brown got.
Yeah, Mr. Brown barber could do his hair 12 o'clock at night.
You're absolutely right. And I asked him to put a little color in it too. I said, "Can you put a little clairol in it?" So, Julius, we got some good topics tonight. They solid topics. Sean, did you read over the agenda?
Yeah. I said, that first one was gonna be a real hot one.
And you want to have something? I'm gonna let Julius talk about. Julius and I used to talk on the phone. He had a particular job. He used to get up 4 and 5 in the morning in misery like company. Guess who he used to call about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning? Charlie Brown. And tell me about all these dreams. Boy, we're gonna have a network. We're gonna be all over the United States. And I used to go, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. And he said, you know what I'm gonna name the company? All Things Irrelevant. Oh God, all things are relevant. I said, this is impossible. No, that man. He is what you call a dreamer. It's no harm in being a dreamer, but he turned dreams into reality. Exactly. I have to compliment him. And guess what he said to me? You need to get out of bed because I'm going to drag you with me. And that's how I became vice president of Black Media and ATR. Because he had a vision and he wouldn't let it die. And he kept hammering at me day after day, 2 and 3 times on the forklift, tearing up the people equipment and talking to me at the same time. But, and the reason I'm sharing this is a lot of the viewing audience, boy, we got a lot of people looking, don't know how the company got started. It got started. This man was dreaming before he started telling me about this. But he started sharing it with me, and we talk about it for must be at least 3 to 4 years. And then he started another company. I think it was called McPherson and Hall, and I was one of the sales consultants. And no, I'm serious, Sean. I was one of the sales consultants or marketer, whatever you want to call me.
You was director of marketing.
Oh, yeah, I like that part. Director of marketing. But what's interesting about what he did, the man had a vision. And here we sit today. The next thing we in magazines, we on TV, Roku TV, we on YouTube, look how many people viewing us. I'm just so excited to be a part of this dream that turned to reality. Some people dream and never turn it to reality. He dreamed and turned to reality. And now he can talk, but I just wanted to share that with him. And I'm not kissing up with him, but the viewing audience, no, I'm not a kiss up man. But you need to know the history if you're going to move forward and understand how we do things.
Exactly.
Mr. Brown, it was about 2019. It was 2017.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, when I first told you about it, I was sitting on the forklift at the sugar refinery. And I was doing campaign work a little bit then, just a little bit. But I had dreams of seeing us do bigger things. And I saw that there was a void where there wasn't enough information coming into our community. And I said, I want to start this company. You said, oh boy, what is it? I said, and it wasn't 6 o'clock. You didn't get up. It was about 6:30. I waited till
what's the difference?
Every morning to call you. I waited till 6:30 every morning and I called you. Because you didn't want to get up. You got up, but you didn't want to move out the house. I told you, we got to get you moving, Charlie, because
you're right.
Retirement ain't good for nobody to just lay around. You got to be able to do something. And I told you about all things relevant, ATR. We end up starting ATR, and now we are, like you said, we got magazines. We got our own Roku channel. We got 20 plus shows on our platform, 7 days a week. And then in a few weeks we'll have radio. So we're going to have everything covered because we're going to have our own radio station, which is going to be dynamic. I wish I could get my intern over here so they can do a young show from Savannah State College.
How many subscribers we have online? Let the viewing audience know how many we have, and you like to give it out. If they want to be a part of it, give the number out. And give them the email address or whatever.
All right. Well, we have about 38,000 people watch us monthly. We got about 15,000 followers on our page, and through our social media, probably a little bit more than probably somewhere around 20,000.
On the magazine.
On the magazine, I don't have a number on that, but we send it out to 56,000 people right now.
Okay, that's the number I was talking about.
Yeah, we send it out to 56,000 people electronically. We just started Atlanta, Hello Atlanta. That's our Atlanta-based magazine, and we're going to be sending that out to from anywhere from 50 to 100,000 people in the next 30 days. It'll be out. We did last month's, and we did this month's, which will be out on the 1st. But this month was September. We're doing October, which is ready now. It'll be out October 1st or 2nd, and it'll go out to the same 50,000 people in the Savannah area, about 5,000 people in the Atlanta area until we get our email base corrected in Atlanta. We'll be sending out anywhere from 50 to 100,000 people in Atlanta.
Give them an email address or give them slowly so they can know if they want to get involved and how they can get involved. You give it to them. I know you can put it across the bottom, but you tell them a little bit how.
Yeah, it's atrmediagroup.com. atrmediagroup.com. You can get all magazines and everything else right there. And we're going to try to put that QR code up. If I can get, I don't know whether you can find that QR code for me and put it up. If she can get that QR code, we're going to get the QR code. And that QR code sends you to a landing page. And that landing page, you can see everything we're doing. Chris hasn't updated it yet, but he's updating it. So you'll be able to go to our Roku channel. You'll be able to go to our websites. You'll be able to go to our magazines. And soon you'll be able to go to our radio station. But you'll be able to go to the magazines and the Facebook shows and everything else right now.
I want to thank you for sharing that. And Sean, I wasn't closing you out because Sean is a newcomer. He saw the wagon coming down the road. He needed a ride. So when he saw this wagon, I don't know when our wheels was coming off and we needed somebody to help us put it back on, but he he stepped right in and he put that wheel and he been with us ever since. Sean, we're happy to have you a part of the team. And I want to let the viewing audience know all around the country, we don't target and go at people. What we do, we try to get the truth and tell them the truth. We do investigative reporting. Exactly. If you're not going to do it the right way for the community, that's why it's called black media, we're going to come at you. We're going to like Tim Scott, Clarence Thomas. We don't have to tell you. You'll see what's going on. Don't say we jumping all over these guys. They're jumping on themselves. All we doing is telling you the truth of what's happening because we want you to be informed. Because when people fail, they fail for two reasons: lack of information and lack of knowledge. And just remember, now be quiet after this, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it opens. Keep what you need and let the rest go. Now, we can go on with the show, but now you know a little bit about us.
Okay. So, Sean, this first subject is one that you brought about, and it was a question. And you noticed something that was happening in our community, and you wanted to ask the females something. And I'm going to put the question up that you wanted to ask the females. And it was, mothers, would you date or marry a man like the son you're raising?
Woo!
That's a good question.
Woo!
That's a very good question. And
that's a deep question.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Sean, where did that come from?
I mean, okay, let me give you, right now, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to target my sister's house, but I'm outside an alternative school where I see a lot of black kids being dropped off to be signed into this school by their mothers. 9 times out of 10, it's a mother and she's coming in pajamas. He's opening up the door because mama taking too long to get to the door. He's opening up the door. He's walking on the inside, leaving the door closed for mama. Mama has to open up the door for herself. I see 3 types. One, where mama opening up the door because she has someplace to go. So she's opening up the door, telling him, boy, get your behind in here. And now he has to go up in there. Or I see him walking in, leaving the door closed behind her. You know what I'm saying? And leaving his mama outside. And I see the type where it's like, okay, mama literally is like trying to instruct him, trying to wait, but he doesn't know. I seen two fathers, and I wanted to walk across the street and say, hey, thank you for you showing up, bro.
Right.
But these days you got to mind your business.
I think what you're doing is, in my opinion, you evidently are pretty good observer. And if you sit back sometime and you don't need to say something all the time, you need to observe and see, because a lot of times we have a tendency to look at the situation and judge, and we don't know exactly what and where it's coming from.
Exactly.
But as an observer, you see there's a dysfunction there. And if you notice sometimes, a lot of the viewing audience, again, I'm not going back, but a lot of viewing audience, Julius and I was the two of us. We co-host the show together. And I'm still a co-host, and he is a co-host, and we two are. Mm-hmm. You're not a co-host, but you are a co-host because everyone on the panels are co-hosts. But Julius and I are the original two. It was just the two of us. But back to at hand, that's why sometimes people notice I said, go ahead, Julius, or go ahead, Sean. It's because I'm one of the co-hosts, and We try to do that. But that's a good question. You know, would you marry a son?
Lead, it's two lead hosts. That's me and you. Everybody else is a co-host. They just because they're on here every week.
Oh, two lead. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Julius.
We're the lead hosts. And
excuse me for a minute. Saya. I just had to give you your homage. Saya, okay.
Oh boy, I tell you, I gotta see what I gotta go through, Sean.
But go ahead, but it's an interesting subject. Julius, you gonna take a stab at it, or you want me to take a stab at it?
Well, I'll look at it. You know, and it's a very good question because, see, these women let these boys get out of control. And then, you know, those boys aren't any good for a woman. If they're going to not be able to treat a woman right, you know, and understand that a woman needs nurturing, a woman needs care. If women outnumber us 4-1, 3-1, I believe. So technically, there isn't enough good men to go around for women. There isn't. That's why a lot of women share men. You know, they don't mind because they rather have somebody treating them right and doing for them opposed to somebody abusing them and not doing anything for them besides y'all know what. But so a woman wants somebody who understands that you know, it's about them and it's about the relationship. It's about getting things done. You know, you got a lot of sorry men out here now that they don't understand the old school like we do. You know, they don't understand that you open the door for a woman. You might not open her car door every time because she don't jump out, but you do open you know why I got that on. The door for it, you know, we pay the bills. You know, you got a lot of women now that go Dutch because they want to be, and we talked about this last week, that single independent, strong independent black woman. What the hell is that?
Exactly.
You know, everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. So we don't need a strong independent black woman. We need a strong black woman, but we don't need her to be independent. We need her to understand that she needs us just like we need her. And so my thing is, you know, would you date a man like the son you're raising? Are you instilling in him the values that he's supposed to have? Are you raising him to be what? You know, I'm sure a lot of those mothers that you're talking about, Sean, who don't know where their 17-year-old son is at 3 a.m. because he out there on the corner selling drugs, or he out there on the corner in a gang, then no, you wouldn't want. Are you gonna date that guy? You know, so no. And that's the question that you're asking. Would you date
can I take
the
a
guy
stab
like
at
the son that you're raising?
Can I take a stab at it?
Mm-hmm.
I think what you say, Julius, is so important. It all boils down to respect. And if the parent who you raising that son and you don't demand respect from him, you're getting product of what you sow into him. And I think that's what Sean's sort of getting at, because while the boy is doing this and you're allowing him to do this, she needs to stop it and nip it in the bud. You know, something like Bonnie Fife say, nip it in the bud. The question is, the way you raising that young man, and you turn around and say, I wouldn't date a person like you, but look, he's product of you, because you could stop it to a degree. I'm saying you can't stop it all, but you can say you have to learn to do certain things, because you have to imitate life with them the way it should be.
You know what they like to say when you hear a lot? He just like his daddy. He just like his daddy. So they're gonna set him out there, and they'll probably date the look, but not the product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the men come to the woman and they have what you call and give them a hard time. And we as men, we do have to respect the woman herself at the same time to let them know that people will respect them more with a strong male. But if a strong male not around, a woman then have to step up to the plate. And that's where last week we had our indifference. But the mom should do more in making sure her son, whether he get it all or not, get some sort of teaching or understanding. You just don't do your mom all kind of way. And the question you should ask her, would you marry someone just like the son you raised?
Exactly. Now, Mr. Brown, to keep it even, let's say your son bring a young lady home, and she a plain Jane from blah blah blah. But you know your son. Would you tell her, you know what? Yeah, you have my blessing. Go with him, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna do great things. It's the same thing. Are we raising our boys the right way too? You know what I'm saying? And we ain't telling our sons to pick up their pants, because our pants, we try to keep up with their pants. You know what I'm saying? We try to keep our pants just as low as their pants are. Then, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I want Julie to do me a favor. Next week, if Sean come up with something, you run it past me first, okay, Julius? I don't appreciate it. I mean, you got some difficult stuff going there, because we have a tendency, and I've seen daddies and mama want to be their friends.
Thank you.
And like you say, the daddy pants are down. He imitating his son. And how can you lead by example and you look just like that?
Thank
but
you.
Julius, do me a favor. If Sean give you a subject, you call me. Collect if you need to. If so, I can tell you.
Well, he put this subject up earlier this week, and I thought it was a great subject. It is. Even with Sean got all girls, and Sean, I noticed that how he raises them. Even though I'm not around a lot, I hear a whole lot. Yana, one of my girls, his daughter, awesome young lady. And Sean is instilling in these young women things that they need to do so that they could be good wives to their husbands or their boyfriends. And that's what it takes. It takes that mother to do the same thing to that child. Because if you women, I think we got that video. Let me show you that video. Don't we have that video, Sierra, with the Ivana Van Sant or whatever her name is?
Oh yeah, Ivana Jump. Yeah.
I don't see it. It was about the mother. No, that's the wrong one. You're in the wrong one.
Okay.
Let me put it back. How do we get that up there? You got the wrong one. You're in the Rabble. I mean, you're in but what I'm saying is, she was saying on the video about how the mother is spoiling the black male. You know, let's get that off of there. Yeah. Okay. And she was saying in that video about how the mother is spoiling the black male, and that back in our day, me and Mr. Brown more than you, Sean. You're a little older than you.
Right.
And I mean, you look older than all of us. But back in the day, the man would come and get the boy and take him wherever he was, so that the mother couldn't make him weak and vulnerable. The father put that strength in the son. they don't do that no more. The man leaves the child with the mother. And nowadays you got men just as weak as the mother making the child weak.
They call them beta males.
Yeah, you got to be able to slap that child side the head. I give my grandsons, they know. I talk to them rough. You know what I'm saying? They understand and they respect me because that's what they're going to get. I want them to be strong black men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want them to be soft. I don't want them to be beta males. You know, I want them to be able to stand up for themselves. I want them to be able to talk. I want them to be able to treat women right. You know, and
exactly.
that's what we're supposed to instill.
I'm gonna get a little bit controversial now, and again, this is what this show is about. Mm-hmm. And we want the viewing audience to get and be a part of it because it's about what's happening. When I was younger, a lot younger, I had several white colleague of friends share with me and say, we don't mind giving the black women power because when we get ready to take it back, we can get it back from them. But guess what? When we give it to the black male, it's more difficult to get back. And they might not agree with me, but I had people that actually tell me that.
Wow. That's deep. That goes deep. Yeah.
You ain't heard what I say. I had people to tell me that. Not a lot of people. They said, why do you think we give it to a black woman? We'll put them in position because when we get ready to get our power back, we can step in and take it back from them. But you ain't going to take it that easy back from a black man. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you what I had several people to share with me. And I thought it was interesting.
Why you think that Raisin in the Sun, they done brought Raisin in the Sun out too many times? The show, that's a black man failure movie. I mean, failure case, but they want to continue to, they'll show you that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't show you.
What you think about it too? And Sean?
Which part?
About it's easier to take the power back from the black women and versus the black man.
Well, black women don't really want it, and so man, they don't want it. They want to control the money. They don't want to control the problems. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to control the problems. They want to control the money.
I got you.
Well,
you know, they, in my opinion, the ones that I've run into, they like, hey, I don't want to drive.
Power is supposed to be money, because if you had a choice of power or money, a lot of power, because power will bring money. You let the money go and have the power, because you can have money with no power and you won't have your money for long.
Yeah, that's true. You'll watch your power dwindle away.
The thing is, once you give somebody power, it's hard to take it back from them unless you have more power or if you have a bigger plan than theirs. When you give somebody power and they are corrupt with that power, then it's easier to take it away. But if you give somebody power and they're comfortable with it and know how to use it, then it's hard for you to take it back from them. We give women a whole lot of power because the system has diabolically planned to make the black woman more powerful than the black man on purpose.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. Yeah. And if they feel like if they make the black woman feel so independent that and give her more money than the black man is making, then that is something that you have to take into account.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Take in what you said just now, right? It just hit me. It just hit me.
How's it going? You okay?
When it comes to, think about it.
I think it's a strong day.
thinking back, taking it all the way back. How did we lose? I mean, in so many words, go all the way back to pre-Civil War. Let's go back to slavery. All right. Whose breast milk were they suckling on? You know what I'm saying? They were suckling on our mother's breast milk. I believe it was the simple fact of a mother figure. Now I'm treating like an animal, or she's a slave, or I got to treat her, and now she has babies and stuff. I think it's the simple fact that our black women were their mothers. And it continued throughout the years, and that's where the big respect came from. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the abolitionists came from.
Yeah.
Came from, hey, my black mother took care of me more than my mother did, and I realized this. And and it just was human. And I feel like it was like, hey, I know this black woman personally, and she's not an animal, and she shouldn't be a slave, and she shouldn't be sold,
Right.
But, when it comes to that black man, he's strong, and damn it, I know he'll whip daddy ass. I know he'll beat daddy. He's a strong dude out there, and daddy fears him, and blah, blah, blah. So that fear
got exactly where you're coming from.
Continued on throughout the years. Continued on.
Yeah.
Even when they tried to make us a clown with the white face and the watermelon and all this other stuff, when they tried to make us clowns, we still showed strength through that. You know what I'm saying? With Jack Dempsey and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's stuff like that we
correct
inbred it in them. Like, come on, man. Like, until we old, until we kick in the grave, they fear us until we, you know what I'm saying? Until we gray hair.
Well, Sean, seriously, a wonderful topic. I hope people take in. If they got any questions, they want to shoot at us, they can. We are a product. A lot of times, we don't make our young men responsible. We don't make our young ladies responsible. You simply have to stop. If something happened, you can't just take their words. You have to do a complete investigation, because young kids and people, they will lie to you too. And what you do is enable them to grow and progress by agreeing with them on everything.
Exactly.
And it's a big responsibility. But the final question is what you say. Would you marry a son like what you raising if you had to be married again? I ain't saying incest. I'm saying if it was like that.
If you met your little son on the schoolyard, would you sit back and say, you know what? Yeah, I have your baby. I'll raise a family with you. No, the first thing they're gonna say to him is no, you too young for all of that now. So tell her you too young.
I appreciate that topic, Sean. That's a good one. Now I like that.
Yeah.
Jill, I like it.
Well, we don't all the other a few of them are at Democratic Chatham County Democratic Committee meeting. I don't know where Sandra and Bernard at tonight, but that's okay. We are capable of doing what we do.
Sure.
Our next subject was the dress code in the U.S. Senate. John Fetterman is I think he's the senator from Pennsylvania, I believe.
That's correct. The state of Pennsylvania.
And he comes in with a warm-up hoodie on and shorts to the Senate, U.S. Senate, the U.S. Senate. Every single other person is dressed in something presentable like a suit or a sport coat. And they lowered the dress code because the Democrats are in charge, because they are, so that he can have that. He had some mental problems because something had happened to him, and he had some mental problems. And he still got elected, which was great for the Senate. And but
he beat Dr. Oz.
Huh?
He beat Dr. Oz in that
split. Yeah, he beat Dr. Oz, which was great. And so we got the what they're looking at now is they changed the dress code. The Republicans are mad because they changed the dress code so he could dress down. I think that it looks good upon the country for those guys to be dressed also, especially if you're dressing in a sport coat. He's about 7 foot, if I'm not mistaken, 6'9", 6'10", somewhere.
6'10".
Yeah, he's a real big guy. And I think that the country pays him enough to go buy a couple of suits, even if he wear the same one over and over. But he needs to be dressed a little better than what he's dressing. I agree with the Republicans. Decorum, you have to have some type of. It has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with the institution. So what we're looking at now is that you need to dress, dude. I don't know what the hell you think you at, but you need to dress. I understand that he has some medical conditions and he was suicidal at one time, and he hear voices in his head and all, which is kind of bad for them to have elected him to be in that position.
Exactly, he shouldn't be there.
But he was better than Dr. Oz. Even that, so that's saying a lot. He's better than Dr. Oz with all of that. So yeah, we need to look at that. What you think,
Julius? I think what I find pretty compelling about the whole story is that for the fact that you have to realize how many senators we have and how much Congress people we have, and you have to realize, and the president and the vice president, just these group of people, I think it comes to 500 and something people total. They control over 100 million people. So just respect that they represent us, that over that 100 and something million people. I think you should wear a presentable outfit. I don't agree with Fetterman. He is absolutely wrong. And they shouldn't have lowered the standards for him. He had to go and get something tailored, because he is representing each and every citizen in the United States, whether they're a Democrat or Republican or Independent or Green Party. These people control over 100 million people, Congress and Senators and the president, and you have to look correct. We cannot sit idle and let one man destroy a great institute. If we're going to talk about the blonde-headed man or the orange-headed man, they're no different in the way he willing to look to bring our standard down. We will not tolerate it. Just like our flag, I don't know if you know that, in the Olympics, the United States flag never dipped to no foreign country. Were you aware of that? When the flag go by, when the parade of nations come by, other flags dip their flag. The United States never dipped their flag. We dip our flag to no one. And I'm saying he cannot dress and do what he's trying to do and bring the standards down. If they go along with him, they're wrong. I know the Republicans have done a lot of things, but you don't go tit for tat. He look a hot mess. I've seen him sitting there. Don't rationalize for him. He can do better. He represents over 100 million Americans, and we're not going to put up with it. And the Republicans got a point. Regardless of what they do, that's them. But we don't have to follow suit to try to get something straight. And that commentary coming from Charlie Brown.
Yep.
Go ahead, Sean.
Back in the days, the British government, and they still do, the white wigs. They wear the white wigs to remind them of respect for the law. That there's a law, a governing body that they're controlling, that they're remember when we had the naturalist doctor on? That's how he won his marijuana case, because he brought everybody back to their oath of the Constitution. He brought every solicitor, everybody that was against him, every police officer. Did you follow your oath to the Constitution? No matter the Georgia citizenship and all that, the oath. Fetterman, when he does that in so many words, he might as well throw a rock at the Capitol building the same way those guys that came in there and tried to, because he's showing like no respect for the law. He's showing kind of like rebellion, a rebellious spirit, like how they used to, say it back in the church. He's administering a rebellious spirit.
Yeah.
To show I don't have to fit in with the rest. I know how he might think I'm fitting in with the little man, but why the little man got to dress like you? The little man want to come up to dress in suits and ties and stuff like that too. We want representation the same way everybody else want representation.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll address that, but nobody wants Fetterman coming in there looking like he just left off the street or he out of the gym. They know him because he's a big giant, but still he needs to dress a little better than that. Or
Julius, he represent, like I say, I don't know exactly how many American it is. I know it's over 150 Americans million that he represent. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, independent of the Green Party, Julius, we cannot go along and allow him. Don't play tit for tat with the Republican.
Well, it's 300 million people in this country.
Then he represents all of them to a degree.
Yeah, and so what he needs to do is to understand that he is held to a higher standard than coming to the fold. But that's something that they'll be addressing soon. Elections are a month away. Early voting starts in a few weeks. Want everybody to know, just get out and vote. Get out and October 13th or something like that, I think. Early voting starts. So y'all need to be ready and ready to go. I was trying to see whether we had anything that we wanted to.
Early voting started in the region of Savannah, Georgia, because we don't want to think people run out somewhere else and try to vote. We talking about Savannah politics because our show originate out of Savannah. We talk national and we talk regional, but we talking about local politics in Savannah, Georgia, Port Wentworth, Garden City, in this region where we live at.
Yeah, there's a lot of races. All our municipalities have race. Most of them have elections this year.
Correct.
And so everybody needs to be a participant in them. And there are reasons why, because there's a lot of sellouts that are in office that needs to be replaced. We missed one of our subjects in general discussion. I forgot about it. We had two subjects in general discussion. I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and then we'll discuss the video.
Okay.
This is our general discussion. We went past it and went to two subjects.
That's all right. We're having a great show, buddy.
Yeah. So let me go back to that.
This the kind of love I want. Look at the pure joy on his face. Look at that smile. That's real love. Why is he smiling like that? Look who his girl is. Look, don't even worry about her face. Look at her name. Phoebe Gates, that's Bill Gates' daughter. He done hit the lottery. I wouldn't care what Dr. Umar said. Forget Sierra's prayer. What prayer did he pray? Look at that pure black boy joy. Every picture he cheesing. Big smile showing all his teeth. Crab singles. Every picture just cheesy. He can't hold it in. He know he ain't supposed to be there. Look at him. I'm happy for you, King. It's like a little piece of reparations. Keep doing your thing, baby. This the one. When they do, when he do that, he letting us all know, I'm doing this for y'all.
I love it. I fucking love it. Hey, that's just as good as Alabama. That's just as good as the Alabama video.
That was my comedy of the night, not my joke.
Oh, that's good.
That was the comedy of the night because, and we're going to a commercial in a minute. But what I wanted to say was, that is when I saw that video, I couldn't stop laughing because every picture he smiled. He said he ain't supposed to be there.
That's right. You know the part I like? He said, Umar Johnson, he don't care what Umar Johnson said. Umar Johnson can jump off a bridge. He don't care.
Oh, boy.
That's funny stuff, man.
Oh, Sierra, you can take us to commercial number one. All right. Yeah, he hit the jackpot. He hit the lottery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He hit the lottery. So hey, we can't. Hey,
I think Sam Walton got some granddaughters out there. Your brothers better go to Arkansas. Maybe you can pick up one of the Walton girls.
They got them secluded. They ain't trying to let them in.
Yeah, they ain't gonna let them
out. We got two other subjects left, and we got about a whole hour. But we got two subjects, and it's gonna take a while for these subjects. And I got two videos. I wish I had that Ayanna Van Sant video where she talks about that with the
a lot of people looking at us tonight, Joe.
You did.
We got over 1,000 people looking at us.
Almost 1,100 people.
Yeah.
What we're gonna our next subject is y'all want black unity first, or y'all want no weapon form against you versus the truth? Which one y'all want first?
Say it again, Jill.
I'm piggybacking because I don't know the no weapon form against you one, so I'm listening on that one. I want to hear that one too. I said I didn't want to.
Jill, once you take off and pick either one of them, and we'll sound like one of the candidates that's running. Let me piggyback on that. Don't have a creative thought in an entire body. Let me piggyback on that after you get started.
Which one you want?
Let's go with the no weapon form against you.
You want no weapon?
Yeah, I kind of think I know what you mean on that one.
Okay, let's go with no weapon form against you versus the truth.
And I'll piggyback on what you say.
Okay, because what it is that I want to address the mayor's Friday night live telecast where he told the alderman that we're trying to show that he doesn't live in his district. The mayor said to him that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And I just wanted to tell the mayor, Mayor Van Johnson of Savannah, Georgia, that it's hard to beat the truth, no matter what weapon you're talking about. The truth is the most powerful weapon. It is the truth. And when you have the truth on your side, then you don't have to worry about anything else. And I don't know where, you want to quote the Bible all the time and think that, prayer is going to get it for you. Prayer does not work without works. You got to be able to work. And we've done the work to understand that we have the truth through our work. You're talking about no weapon formed against you. Nobody's forming a weapon. We're forming, unless you want to call the truth a weapon, then the truth is the most powerful weapon. So that's what this subject is, with no weapon formed against you versus the truth. The truth is, we know that this man does not live there. We know that somehow, and we're going to put it right out on the table now, somebody has moved these kids out of that house and moved them into somewhere else. So whoever that is, whether SCAD moved them into a new building without at that quick notice, without a process, then SCAD is complicit in the cover-up. If the mayor, with all the houses that he owned throughout the city, if he moved them out and moved them into one of his apartments, then he is complicit in the cover-up. So there will be an investigation. Y'all don't think it will be, but there will be an investigation. And so somebody's going to have to answer it. We got a whole lot of other stuff that y'all don't know about that we're not going to tell you about. So, and we don't want this man to really get in any trouble. We just want him to resign. It's not no personal vendetta. And even if it was personal, are we correct? Is it the truth? Is it the truth? You can't fight the truth. You can't go around the truth. You can't jump over under the truth. You got to understand that you're right. Let me get out the way. Let me do what's right. So that's what this topic is: the truth versus no weapon formed against you. And
we ain't even asking for the $20 million back in bricks. The $20 million.
Well, yeah, because he voted, being that he lived there illegally, or not lived there rather, and illegally living in the 3rd district is supposed to be in the 2nd, then all the votes that he cast should be null and void. You know what I'm saying? Even though they probably still have enough to get it passed, all his votes should be null and void because he's illegally casting a vote for something that he's not qualified to cast a vote for. And so, it's a 6 months residency, if I'm not mistaken, either 6 months or a year. So even if they move the kids out, hold on, Charlie, even if they move the kids out and moved him in, he hasn't been there 6 months to qualify for that residence. You know what I'm saying? He can't show where he's paying one bill in that house. He can't show where he's living there. He can't show where he's gotten one UPS package there. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, you're dead wrong. So stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. I know you're watching. I know somebody's watching that's going to tell you. So the mayor, if you're complicit with it, I'm sure they'll have you under oath and you'll be able to tell that lie also. So if you lie, then you'll be one of Donald Trump people who go into jail for Donald Trump. So we don't mind if you lie, then you know what the consequences are. So Linda, if you lie and they got you under oath, then you know what the consequences are also. So we're just giving you fair warning because we don't want nothing really bad to happen to you. I'm the last person that wants to see a black person go to prison or go to jail or be in a system impacted. No, I don't want any of that. So y'all just have him do the right thing. It's all right. It's all right. Life goes on, Just do the right thing. There's nobody gonna say nothing. Just do the right thing. Go ahead, Charlie.
I think it's what sad when you say no weapon formed against me, at the same time, if you are crooked as a 3, weapons gonna be formed against you because the truth is the truth. I think the young man, knowing he was not live there, if he don't live there, I don't think people just would have come at him just to mess with him. They're saying lead by the example, and you're gonna get up and agree and vote on things and saying you guys and you people need to do it this way, but yet I can do it the way I want to do it. I don't have to live in that house. I can rent it out and use that house as an address. If you wrong, you wrong. And we as the citizens of this community should be concerned about that. Because when another young lady, I think Lady Mahogany, wanted to run, she didn't live actually in the district. They disqualified her. And the secretary of I think it's the secretary of council. He said they had 2 weeks before they can put in a claim. No. He put down he lived in that house and he didn't. He wasn't telling the truth. He is wrong. You can't make right out of wrong. And I'm concerned about that.
Now, a lot of people should be concerned about that because you're absolutely correct. If you don't live in the district, then you should not be able to vote in that district, which is now you're breaking the law there also.
I'm on the phone with one of the great supporters of our Black Media Network.
That sounds like Jamal.
Yeah, it does.
Betty Jones. So I'm just finishing the meeting with the agent. So I just want to let you know that. And I have Reverend Jones on the phone right now.
So Reverend Jones, you do know we live on the show, so you're gonna be live on the show?
So I'm just letting you know, Reverend Betty Jones, why didn't you send her the information? She's a great supporter of our Black Media Network.
What information? What information?
How's that?
Oh yeah, we're on. We got a new Facebook page. I need to tell everybody that we do have a new Facebook page. It's Our Black Media Network now. Our Black Media Network. Our Black Media Network. Our old Facebook page, Our Black Media, is down. Something happened with Facebook, and we're in a appeal process for that particular page because they thought that we did something that we didn't do. So it's on Our Black Media Network. So if you want to catch us, go to my personal page. Yeah, my bad. I didn't tell a lot of people. Go to my personal page to always watch the shows for the last 45 days. And because it's been 45 days now. And also go to YouTube. You can always catch it on Our Black Media. But if you want to catch it on Facebook, it's on Our Black Media Network now. Our Black Media Network.
Right. And please send me your flyer so I can put in our program.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I will certainly send the flyer out, Dr. Jones, and so you can put it in the program. I'll see if I can get that done tonight. Is there anything else y'all want? But we want to make sure everybody know that we are on a different Our Black Media Network on YouTube, on Facebook. Our Black Media Network. Okay. Our Black Media
share. Please share.
And so you can get that there. Our Black Media Network. Let everybody know that. You still can get us on our Facebook page. I mean, our YouTube page is the same, but Our Black Media Network, and you can get everything that you need. It's my fault for not coming on and telling everybody that from the jump, Good evening, Charlie, Robert, Diane, David, Arara.
You can't call all the names out there. You
Yeah.
got a lot of names, brother.
Yeah, but no, those are just the people that made comments.
Okay, got you.
And so we are going to continue the show, Dr. Jones. I hope you're watching now on Our Black Media Network. If you're watching, Our Black Media Network is where we'll be seeing that from now on until we get that straight. Then we'll be streaming on both of the pages once we get it straight. All right. Okay. Everybody good? All right. So we're going to go back to our topic, and it was no weapon formed against us versus the truth. And
it sounds like somebody hit a nerve.
Yeah, the truth is powerful, and no matter how much you pray, prayer is good, but no matter how much you pray, God knows whether you can walk or not. God knows whether you can work or not. So prayer without works is dead.
Yeah,
and you're gonna just try to do something without putting the work in. You can't pray to God and ask God to do it when you're gonna be lazy and not do the work. You gotta get out and do the work yourself.
And Jewish, when you as crooked as a 3, and you telling people, I want you to believe that, and say, I'm gonna pray about it to make my 3 straight all the time.
Charlie Brown, Dr. Jones is trying to say something.
Oh, I can't hear.
I was agreeing with you. You got to put work with your prayers.
Yes, ma'am. You got to put the work in.
And if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yes, ma'am. You don't work, you don't eat. That's right. You got to be able to put the work in because that's what makes everything go around, the work. And we appreciate y'all call. We appreciate y'all calling in, callers. But we tell everybody it's Our Black Media Network. Just put network on the end of Our Black Media, and you'll be able to get us every night that we have a show. And that is Monday through Sunday. We have shows. So just tune in. You'll be able to get us on Our Black Media Network. Okay?
All right. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, Doc.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jones.
Right. Today, that would have happened. See that? So
Oh, okay.
I done lost some of my viewership tonight because of this.
Well, you get them back. You get them back.
I want you to take your time, and you should have been on the show tonight instead of being somewhere hiding in a closet. We had this topic going tonight about that gentleman in the 2nd district. But you cannot pray a loud way. And see, that's what you want. They don't want the truth. And they're saying we're forming a weapon. What Black Media Network do, what we do, investigate, report.
Charlie Brown continue his conversation. Okay. Thank you so very much.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
I thought they was gone.
They gone now. But you're right. You can't pray a loud way.
No,
you can pray and ask God to forgive you, and you can ask God to
Lead and
do
guide
whatever
you.
else. See, but you got a lot of people who are in denial, and you got a lot of people who claim to be so religious that are praying for people that they know are dead wrong. Pray for their sin. Don't pray for them to beat the crime. Don't pray for them to beat the system. Don't pray for them to continue to be a detriment to your community, what you're supposed to be working for, Pastor. Pray for them to do right. Pray for them to get better. Pray for them to heal. Pray for them to ask for forgiveness. And that's what you should be praying for. All you pastors out there who think that Detric Leggett is right. Y'all know he wrong. Y'all know he don't live there. Ask Van to tell you the truth. Van knows where Detric lives at.
And Julius, I don't think the people who live across from him, around him, again, I like Detric fine, but I'm saying, why would the neighbors lie and say they never see him come and go from their house at all? I mean, these people just have no reason to lie on him. They were just surprised to find out that he claimed he lived there and used that address.
Yeah.
And I'm saying the truth will supposed to set you free. Just own up to the fact. Say, I made a mistake. But you're going to get, I guess, powers to be to make it correct. So, I question the whole thing. I am concerned about that. Savannah is headed in the wrong direction. That's why we got to change leadership. It's not good.
That's correct. That is absolutely correct, Mr. Brown. That's like Sean living in Midway, Georgia, and want to run for city council in Charleston. Yeah. Knowing that he always just in Charleston, but he don't live in Charleston at his sister's house.
He don't have a residential address that he stayed at on a consistent basis.
Right.
And again, Detric, I know him. He's a fine young man. I'm saying, but when you do stuff like that, it makes you double look at that person and saying, I'm going to cheat the community. I'm going to live somewhere else, but yet I'm going to vote in the second in control. That's not right.
It's one other thing I want to address with this, and somebody told me this today. One of my friends called me and said, well, Julius, you don't think this pretty bad that you one black man going against another black man? I said, that black man's a detriment to my community. I don't give a damn who he is.
Right.
And then he said, well, you live in a glass house. I said, okay, if you say I live in a glass house, then I'm throwing the rock. I'm showing you I'm throwing the rock. That must mean I'm not scared. I'm not on trial right now. If you got something to put me on trial for, then go do it. All I can do is fight it the best way I know, is with everything in me. So if you're right, I'll say, okay, you're right. If you're wrong, I'll say, no, you're wrong. But right now, I'm in a glass house. I'm throwing a rock. I want you to see that I threw the rock. It was Julius Hall who threw the rock. So if you have a problem with who threw the rock, it was me. I'm not perfect. But you won't say I'm drinking? Well, you won't say I'm partying too much? You wont say I'm talking too much? What you want to say I'm doing?
I didn't say Google me.
Okay, I'm guilty.
Julius,
I'm not on trial right now. Try me after this right here. Let's get this one over first. We're not going to deflect.
Julius,
we're not going to deflect. We're going to try this one first.
Right.
Then if you want to try me, come on back and try me. I'm in a glass house. I threw the rock. It's me, Tony. I threw the rock. I'm not running from nothing. I threw the rock. I called the press conference. We were there. Okay? We already gathered the information. It's more than y'all ever know. It's this high. He don't even know what it is we got.
And Julius, and you want to also emphasize, we did not actually go and look for this. Certain neighbors, the one pull our coattail, because we do investigative reporter. Yeah. All we do, we black media, if someone comes to us with a story, we try to do an investigation to see what they're talking about. We do not go and find something to try to condemn anyone. Don't lead by example and do something else. That's wrong. Wrong don't make a right.
Yeah, we weren't looking to do anything, but somebody brought it to our attention, and back in April, and we said, okay, well, we'll look into it. And technically, it's a technicality. He should be disqualified because of the technicality. I know how it feels. I've been disqualified because of a technicality, but I thought that I was in the right because it was different. I wasn't trying to fool nobody. He's trying to fool somebody. I was told that I had all my papers in line and that I could do what I was doing. Right. And I could run. And
Julie, keep in mind that it's not a vendetta because that's what happened to you. You're just stating the fact. Like I say, we did not go after black media, did not go after him. People pull our coattails and say, you need to check it out. There is an alderman in the 2nd district, don't live in the 2nd district, saying he does. Would you look into that? Neighbors where he's supposed to live say they have never seen the truck in the neighborhood in the last 8-9 months or whatever until that particular day the press conference was called.
He don't even go by to pick up the rent for his sister.
Wow.
So you can't even claim you went to pick the rent up for your sister to go in the house. But on that particular day, after they called him and told him we was out there doing the press conference, he has a key. So he went into the house with a key. He put his arm out front so they could see him going in. You know, when you usually you get up to the door and you put your key in. He had his arm out so the press, because all the stations were there in front of the house, so they could see him opening it with a key. It was all for show.
Wow.
We waited him out so long that he had to call the media into his house because he had to go back to work. You see what I'm saying? If he lived, why didn't he address the press when he pulled up if he lived there?
Exactly.
Because there was some kids in the house we had to get out. We saw them go out the back door. You know what I'm saying? They went out. We don't want them involved, really. I got a video with the kid telling me that nobody by the name of Detric Leggett lives in that house.
See, I
got a video.
That's not right. And I don't think the people who live at that address came out and made that up at all.
No.
So you guys can believe what you wanna. We got some problems going on at City Hall, and it need to be addressed. We need change in Savannah. You can't let one person represent you for 25 years. It's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah.
What has he done? I want to know. I hadn't seen it. Certainly, I've seen it, bricks on Broughton Street, but I see dirt roads and Gitchenden. Look around you. Go to Cloverdale. Go to Carver Village. Go to West Savannah. Open your eyes up, people. I'm not attacking these people. They're attacking themselves. They're doing absolutely nothing. Gwinnett Street down to the river. Come on, look at what's happening.
Yeah, so that is what we have there. There's paperwork being filed to Secretary of State's office. There's paperwork being filed to the Attorney General's office in Atlanta. There's paperwork being filed to the clerk of council again in Savannah, and there's paperwork being filed at the district attorney's office in Savannah, and there's paperwork being filed at the Chatham County Elections Board. So we are going to get to the bottom of this. You can say anything that you want to say. You can talk about me all you want. Y'all know I don't care. You got to know that I don't care. Say what you want to say about me. I'm doing what I do. I do what I want to do. There ain't nothing you can do about what I do because you're not in that circle with me to either help me or hold me back. So, but we are on top of it. We won't let it go until we get some definitive answers. So when we get that, then we'll see. Does the individual get mail at that address? I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt where he gets the mail at. That's federal. I don't know whether we can check to see where his mail is going, but I'm sure that he's not going by there to pick up any mail. They haven't seen him there picking up any mail. So no, he's not getting any mail there. That is absolutely
knowledge. Again, we go out and report on things, and again, it's not personal, it's business, because we are the eye in the sky for Savannah community. I am concerned about the community where I live at, and I cannot keep doing the same things that's taking place down at City Hall. It's called insanity when you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And you promise and nothing ever happened. So you get 4 more years, which will give you 25 years almost. It's something wrong with that. And you picking up and saying, no weapon formed against you. If you're going to tell a lie, oh, come on, you crooked as a 3. Come on, give me a break.
well. we we'll see what happens over the course of the next week or two. The election is in about 40 days, and all we can do is go with what we know to do. And Charlie, I told a person today that was telling me about the glass house and was telling me about the making it bad for myself. I told him, I said, you know what? It's people like you that makes me go even harder.
Yeah.
Because see, you know the truth. And then you're still telling me that I should not be doing or correcting this wrong. You know that there's a law being broken, and you're telling me that I should not be addressing it. And I say, so it's people like you that makes me go as hard as I go. I have a responsibility as calling myself the media now to do what is right with getting the information out. We all do to some degree.
We can't have double standard. We cannot have double standard at all.
So we're giving the people what it is and let them make that decision on what they need to do.
And I like to keep it a little lighthearted. I heard that person tell you live in a glass house. I'm going to start selling buckets of bricks. So I'm going to give an address where I'm going to put these buckets of bricks, and I'm going to sell them 2 for $5. Little buckets of brick, and they will throw some bricks. But guess what? If you live in that glass house, once they break the glass, then you can still tell the truth, because the truth will set you free.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so we got one more subject, and we got about 30 minutes, and we want to go ahead and break it down. We ain't going over tonight. If we should cut short, then that'd be great. But Jamal, he want to call in. I don't know where Robert had a meeting. Tiffany had a meeting. I don't know what Sandra and Bernard doing.
She probably crocheting, because she learned how to do that, and she liked the crochet, and that's what she probably doing. Julius, before we get to the topic, I had a viewer to call me. I don't necessarily need to call his name, and he asked me the question, are we going to bring some candidates on and let them tell a platform? Because it's not going to be a debate. It'll be more of a forum when we bring them on. They can tell us about what they're doing and stuff, and we can't really be biased. We can invite any and everyone who willing to come on, because we have to keep it fair.
Well, that is true also. Anybody that wants to come on can. I know that a lot of people duck this platform because we tell it like it is, and we are for the people. This platform is for the people because we speak for we. And so if those candidates don't want to come on, then I understand. You got people that will never come on this platform. Otis Johnson is a wealth of information, but I consider Otis Johnson a traitor now. And so Otis Johnson will never be on. He's not coming on here because he know he can't deal with me. It's my truth against his lies. So I challenge Otis Johnson to come on. Van Johnson, you can come on. We can ask you those tough questions anytime you want to come on. I have Keisha be the moderator so she can ask you those questions. Detric Leggett, Linda Wilder Bryan, Nick Palumbo, Curtis Purdy, bring your little butt on also. And Estella Shabazz. Any of y'all would want to come on?
Give them all an opportunity. Give them an opportunity. Even if Otis Johnson, you feel strongly about it, the whole entire black media, we don't represent. That's his opinion on that, and he's entitled to that. At the same time, but Otis can come on the show and show us, progress or whatever he needs. Because I know him and I work with him, and again, that's not my view about him. I know he's done good in a lot of areas, and that's all I can hold of that. But again, we welcome him to the show, and I'm not trying to rationalize. I'm just saying.
All right. Well,
Julius entitled to his opinion on that,
and that's the opinion that matters. Is Julius' own.
That's correct.
Because I'm telling you how I feel about him, and I know that he should take that book off the market because he went back to being the first word. If y'all don't know what this book is, it's Negro to Mayor. Now it's back to Negro.
The N word to the mayor.
The N word to mayor, and now it's back to the N word. Anyway, we're gonna get to this last subject, and y'all can tell him I told him that. Y'all know ever since him and I had this discussion in the line 3 years ago at the Hunger Club, Oldest has not spoken to me because I told him that he was wrong because he was calling the three women clowns. He was saying we fit to get ready for a monkey show because Anita, Bernetta, Alicia, and Keisha had been elected. And I told him, I said, no, they are going to represent the people. So he and I went back and forth arguing. He thought I was wrong, telling me they weren't intelligent enough. This is what Otis Johnson said.
Wow.
And I'll debate him right here on this platform or anywhere he called me to. This is what he said out of his mouth. And they're the best damn council people we ever had. Ever.
Communication. And a lot of us did not know. I might know how it worked a little bit, but a lot of people did not know. Those women went out and educate the people in the community, and they're still doing it, and people are cutting them down, and they need to look and see exactly what they're doing. If you want to silence the lamb, don't vote for them, and you're going to get what you get. And look and see what you get now. And I'm being perfectly honest. I'm concerned about this. I came out of retirement. I said I wasn't going to do no more politics after Sonia Jackson. But I'm back again because certain people got to go.
Okay.
Tell them how you really feel.
So what we have for our last subject is Black unity. How do we get there? And are there two Savannahs or three blacks, whites, and then the uppity blacks?
That's a problem.
We're going to talk about that, but then we're going to mix all of this in our conversation, and we're going to make some soup right now. So this soup should be real good because we're going to season it with a couple of videos. And one video is talking, when we first started, we showed the video. So y'all who weren't here when we started, it was a video about the greatest bank robbery that ever happened when they robbed black people. It's the first 5 minutes of this show, or the first 7 minutes, because 2 minutes went to the intros and everything. But I want y'all to watch these two videos. They're short videos. One is 58 seconds, and the other one is 1 minute and 29 seconds. One tells about a village in South Carolina where I know the brother that's the king over there, and it's an African village, and the other one talks about what we do with our money, and it all ties into our Black unification. So I want to be able to make sure that everybody sees these videos. So let's go with the African village one first. It's 1 minute and 58 seconds, and then we'll go with the one about our economics. Okay. All right.
Call a friend,
Did
right?
you know there's a whole African?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you know there's a whole African village in Seabrook, South Carolina? No, seriously, they are a separate entity from the United States and North America's first international community. Oyotunji Yoruba African Kingdom is tribal land that offers a glimpse into the culture of the Yoruba and Dahomey tribes. Before entering the Mali-styled grand entrance, you're required to put some respect on the Orishas and ancestors' names. The village boasts markets, monthly festivals, decorative temples, workshops, and beautiful art. We got an insightful tour from Ifa Funke, and of course, the first stop was the Orisha Eligua. The village was established in the 1970s and it's located in a very historical area. It's surrounded by 13 major former plantations and is directly located in the area where Harriet Tubman freed hundreds of enslaved individuals. We must also remember that before any of that happened, this was already land that belonged to indigenous peoples. The village sits on 17 acres of land and it also has a school that is accredited and currently being remodeled. The village was built by Oba Ifuntola. The word Oba means king, and the name Oyo Tunji is inspired from the kingdom of Oyo, and it means Oyo returns or Oyo rises again. The village is open to the public for tours and events, and the community is being developed through volunteer work. This is solid proof that it's very possible for us to build our own communities. Let me know in the comment section if you were aware that this village even existed.
Sometimes I believe that black people are searching for a key to an unlocked door, that the door to opportunity is wide open and will cost you little to get in. The resources necessary to succeed in this country as Africans in America are here. We have everything we need to succeed except each other. We have money. Oh, we're not poor. We're just broke. Our money goes in one direction away from us. We've taken the art of consumption to a whole new level. We don't sell anything that we purchase and we don't make anything that we buy. We just consume. We are a $1.1 trillion annual economy. If we were a nation, we would be the 16th richest nation in the entire world. I have traveled every place that black people have been dispersed, brothers and sisters. I've been to South Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, West Africa, all over North Africa, and all over South America and the Caribbean. And there are no black people in the entire world doing better than we are.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So the question is, our black unity, how did we get there? And we'll get into the part about the savannas after a while. But let's talk about these videos first. We got an African nation that we saw that they have done it on their own. They're independent of the United States. They do what they do together. I've met the king several times at different functions. And then you're talking about what the brother just said. Sean, did you see all of that 58-second video?
Yes. Yes.
The brother was, we don't make anything we buy. And that's powerful. But if our monies are unified, if our monies were put together, we were considered a nation for the United States black African American people, we would be the 16th richest nation in the entire world with the amount of money. He said he traveled everywhere all over the planet, and there's no black people on this planet doing better than us. So why are we so far behind in our own places right here in the United States?
Competition.
This is the first time that Charlie Brown don't have too much to say, because it is what it is, and we hadn't done anything to turn it around. Zero. We hadn't done anything but just talk about it and not do anything about it. I'm speechless. That's all I could say. If Julius wanted to shut me down tonight, he did a wonderful job on coming up with those videos. And I guess that nation over in South Carolina is a sovereign nation, they call it, I guess, because they are within the United States, but they're not a part of the United States. I guess that's why we live in this country. They're a sovereign nation. I think that's what it's called. But you shut me down tonight, Julius. I have no response. You shocked me too bad tonight. I will make you pay for this somehow with a subject or a topic. And don't let Sean pick nothing else to come on. Why are y'all doing this tonight to me? Because I normally got a lot to say. but we got to do something to change the economic wealth. Because it's not happening, we have to know how to set and leave our young black people money. But they must know how to control money, because a fool and his money are soon part. It's going to go all separate ways, just like the gentleman was saying. We got to do something besides sit and eat crabs from all these different locations, and none of the people work behind the counter look like you and I. They look like everybody but us. But across the counter, we got red eyes and our hairs and all kind of style, spending our money and going in all kind of direction. Julius, I don't know the answer. Sean, I don't know the answer. But I know it's a problem. And if you know when you got a problem, something going, you have to put some alcohol or something on it to try to help with the swelling, because it's swelling up now. Julius, you set me down for the night. Very powerful, very compelling. It's there. I cannot change the fact what you see is what it is.
You know, the bad thing about it is, if you look at the NBA and the NFL, you would say, where them kids coming from? Where them players coming from? They coming from our streets. These contracts, you know, I mean, I think the lowest contract in the NFL is what, about $150? You know what I'm saying? $150,000 or whatever.
I think they pay the practice. I think they pay the practice players something like $100.
Right. So where's all that money going? It's to live in the bigger house. They ain't bringing it back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? They're not bringing it back to the hood. They're taking it back to, you know what I'm saying, laying it out there for status. Because it's like, once you got the money, you have to show your money. But who you showing your money to? You ain't showing it back to the people that, you know what I'm saying, that need it. No, nothing like that. You showing it out there to the other people with money. You know, it said Shaq, he ain't rich. The people that sign Shaq paycheck is the people that's rich. You know what I'm saying? We doing a bad representation of what we're doing with the money. You know, even if you had some of these football players that put together and bought their own stadium in these cities that don't have stadiums, that's an investment right there that could be black owned and black controlled and all that other stuff, you know, to bring NFL games to cities like, say, Savannah. Y'all don't have to have a team to watch a game there.
Well, and you're right, Sean. And what we look at now is that it's a land grab in this country, because property values have shot up. My house went up from 195,000 to 356,000.
I know.
So I got almost a $500,000 home here. That and then you're talking about land. People are buying the land, and we're steady selling the land. If you don't understand what the process is, you don't understand what's happening, you need to pay attention. And it's a lot of property that's going because of probate and because of families dying. We're going to have a show after a while with a young man that I met this week, and he's going to be talking a whole lot about insurance. He's going to be talking a whole lot about not just insurance. He's going to be talking about make sure you are insured. He's going to be talking about making sure that you do have a will, because see, you don't want no problems when you pass, because sooner or later we all are going to pass.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that our affairs are in order. So this guy will be coming on. He's a great speaker, great guy, Pace Goodway, and Pace will be coming on with a show talking about how we need to get our affairs in order. You know, I'm guilty of it. All my affairs are not in order, and then, you know, and there's too much to. If I was to pass to leave, that will be in dispute. Even though if my wife is still here, then she could take care of that, but then hers need to be in order. And there's certain things that you need to know when you make a will. You and your wife don't make a will together. You know, wills are separate. You make one and she make one. You know, so it's a lot of stuff that needs to go on, that needs to be talked about in our community, because we're the ones that's not doing it. We're not leaving that generational wealth to our children. We're not leaving that property and those assets and to our children. We're not making them ready for the next phase. We're putting them at a disadvantage by not having our affairs in order. So we're going to have to
first again know how it works. Some of us don't know how it works because we come from a generation that we had no money, and the money we had, it went everywhere but in the community, went to everyone else. Okay. And that's the start, is knowing how, if you're going to be in the game, how it's played. Don't take for granted that everyone know how something works, because they never had it, so they don't understand it. What those saying go, out of sight, out of mind. They just don't know. Out of mind, spinning everywhere. They are trying to figure out ways to make it work. That's all I'm saying.
I am in total agreement.
Yes, and so I was just reading that comment, but it is a time that we have to go back. It takes a while for that to happen, Charlie and Ivan, because we know that we are all from that era where we can, where we saw that there was trust back in the day. We all grew up in the church, understanding that the church was our foundation. Now the church has become a business. The church is not about saving souls. The church is about saving money. The church is about spending money. So we understand that we have some preachers that can preach and will bring the house down, but are they doing anything to save their communities? Will God be looking favorably upon them once they leave this earth? You know, and that's what they need to look into, whether they're doing what's right now. You know, we all get this reflection when we're a little older, when we get into our 60s and 70s and 80s, when we say, you know, let's see what I can change. Let's see what I can make better, because I know I'm about to go. So those preachers need to be making that as soon as they take that vow to preach. You got to save the community. Don't worry about your friendship with the mayor.
Exactly.
Damn your friendship with the mayor. Your friendship with the mayor, when God judge you, he's not going to say, were you friends with Van Johnson?
Exactly.
You care more about your friendship with the mayor than you do about saving this community. And that's a shame. And I'm going to have a whole damn show on you pastors, you know. And I know y'all around it, you know, Dr. Betty, I'm sorry. Pat Small, I'm sorry for my language. But, you know, some people don't need to be in the pulpit. Some people don't need to be preaching no words. Some people don't need to be telling us what to do, you know, because they're not telling us the right things to do. They're not leading by example. They're not pulling the people up from out of the pit. They're making the people, they're covering the pit, really, with dirt, by supporting people that they know that are a detriment to this community. Any pastor standing with Van Johnson is a damn fool. And you tell any pastor that is standing with him that Julius Hall said that any pastor standing with Van Johnson right now today is a damn fool and don't need to be preaching no word of God. None.
Wow.
Absolutely none.
Good.
Wow. You know he's wrong.
Good.
Wow.
Yes.
All I can say,
of Julius Hall.
no, all I can say, I can hear the passion in his voice. My same genuine concern. I've been out here. I said I'm not going to do no more elections, and I saw what was happening. I drove through the streets of Gitchen and saw dirt road. I saw air pollution and people lying. I saw Carver Village. I saw Cloverdale with rocky roads. I saw West Savannah I was concerned. I said, what's going on? And then I get a statement, wherever the money comes from, they put over $14 million worth of bricks on Broughton Street. And tell me, what has he done for your community? Absolutely nothing. Look at the money that he has collected, almost $500,000. No man should get that in a town this small. Follow the money. Who is his master? Not you. The people who give him the donation.
And not God either, Charlie.
We got a problem in this city, and you got to open your eyes up and stop making excuses. When one grin and smile at you when time election, inspect the vote, and you don't find out what have they done, you got a problem.
And talk about that earlier, Charlie, with the 2-3 Savannahs.
Say again?
The 2 and 3 Savannahs.
Yeah, it is. It's the haves and the have-not. It's the white people control a lot of the economic. If you doubt me, drive down Montgomery Street, drive around the area. Now it's supposed to be the Victorian district. You can't afford those apartments. They start off with $1,500 a month to $2,500 to $3,000. And I'm saying it's something wrong with this picture if you ain't seen what's happening. I want progress, but the progress is not favor you. We are the second coming of Charleston. Charleston is now 92% white. I'm happy for them, but it's not fair to say things about white people the one need a pack or something to protect them. Why? They got all the money. That's crazy. And then you got black people criticizing the black people who trying to make a difference, who let you know what's going on at City Hall when they can't get nothing on the agenda. So we got 2 Savannahs, then we got 3 Savannahs. You got black people want to condemn us, and they're the same color. Look at Clarence Thomas. Look at Tim Scott over in South Carolina. It is sad what's taking place. And y'all want the same thing? It's called insanity. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We got to vote them bums out of office. I really mean that. We got black people are destroying each other. And we're not doing that. We saying, how you gonna lead by example? That's not right.
And you can't just go with a person because you like them.
No.
Tell me what they are doing for your community. You all right? Okay, you all right. I'm all right. But how about everybody behind us? If all we care about is who is us, then we are those people that I was talking about earlier that hell needs to fall on. Because, see, you don't care about nobody but yourself. You're selfish. And we got a lot of preachers like that. We got a lot of business people like that. We got a lot of community leaders like that. And we got a hell of a lot of elected officials like that. And so those people will be judged later on. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't pray your way out of that.
And Julius,
hold on.
Okay,
and stop believing that just because you prayed and you asked for forgiveness, that it's going to be forgiven. God ain't stupid. See, that's what Christians believe, that God is stupid. Christians, God's stupid. They believe that every time they do something wrong and they pray about it, God will forgive them. No, that's a damn lie. Yeah. The preacher been lying to you forever, and you brought up in that thinking that's a lie. God is not going to forgive you because you playing with God and you think God is stupid. Because you did something, you just went and killed somebody. Now you for the pray and ask for forgiveness. Now it's all right. You went to heaven. Really? See you in hell. But anyway, it's a lot that our community has been conditioned to believe and to do, and we need to get away from that.
You say something interesting. I've never heard it quite like God is stupid. I often heard God look the other way and don't see it. he was looking the other way because there's so much goes on in the world. And when he's not looking, you figure you can get away, but he does know what goes on. Okay. So
God don't look the other way. He got all eyes. He sees everything. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say, but you be under the impression he looked the other way.
Right.
And I've never heard anyone say God was that. I've never. This is the first for me again. Like I say, you have shut me down tonight to a degree. But at the same time, I had a passion, and that don't make it necessarily right. But guess what? It is a point for them to look at and have genuine concern, because one man should not be bearing all that what you bearing to try to get across to them. And look at those ladies go down there. They can't get things on the agenda because you need 5 votes, and they still come back and tell you what's going on because you didn't know what was going on. They were spending money and you had no idea, and that's what they want, to take a bunch of rubber stamp and just let it go through, and all those people give those contributions, follow the campaign money. Ask the next time you see the mayor, say, how much money have you got in your campaign? He know. He'll tell you, you got to look at the disclosure. Come on, people, wake up.
Ain't none of your business. Bull crap.
Yeah.
You are Savannah Citizen. It is your business.
For public record, and he does know. And he shouldn't give them if he's sincere, he will not look them off and tell them he don't know. He do know.
Well,
that's to show you he's not genuine.
And I want to address those people who think that I'm just talking bad about pastors. I'm talking bad about people who aren't doing right. They're pastors in name only. So they're Pinos. Pino, pastors in name only. And so they're not doing what's right. So don't think that and please don't tell me that bull about touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. I don't want to hear that mess. These guys are not prophets. They couldn't tell you what's going to happen, nothing at any time in their life. They're not anointed. They're not anointed to do anything. Anybody can talk. Hell, y'all see me hearing it. I should be your pastor. But anyway, at least I'm gonna tell you the truth. But
I'm holding my wallet.
Yeah, hold your wallet. But anyway, you get away from these Pinos, these pastors in name only. You get away from them and you'll be all right. Because see, if they aren't delivering for the people, if all the pastors aren't saying, okay, let's go out in the community and let's see what we can give. If all they're talking about is the building fund, is all they're talking about is pastor appreciation, is all they're talking about is the church anniversary. We don't want to hear all that mess, because all you're talking to me about now is money.
Yeah.
We're talking about saving the people. We're in a terrible rut, and it's because we have lost our way, and it's because the pastors have sold us out just like the elected officials. So that's a whole nother show. Maybe we'll do that one next week. And
Julie, we got a little bit of time left, but I'm gonna make this comment, and I'm gonna swing it to Sean. If the pastors are so-called leaders, spiritual leaders, whatever, let them drive around. Drive to Geachenden, drive around Savannah. Look at the streets, not downtown Savannah, not cross Gwinnett and down to the river. Just look around the city and seeing the progress have been made, especially for Black people in this community. They don't need a task force. Oh, are you kidding me? We look stupid, I guess. And we gonna vote for you when you go like this? And we click and vote? No way. You are done. Put a fork in you. And thank you. I enjoyed the show tonight with Julia, you and Sean, with y'all stuff tonight. Shut me down. And hello, boys. I don't know where the rest of them at. And the ladies, I hope you went to the beauty shop. I don't know why they call it the beauty shop, because
You
some
see that
come
clock
out
up in
and
the
still
corner?
look the same.
You see that clock? Charlie, you see that clock up in the corner?
Yeah,
What does it say?
2 hours.
Okay, well, you see we over, right? Huh? You ain't froze. Don't act like Jamal. You not- Okay. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, it was a beautiful show. I appreciate y'all having me on, as always. And be safe out there.
Okay, and I'm gonna have the last word. Don't judge me too harshly. You know, I know that one day when I'm gone, 100 years from now, none of us will be here. 100 years from now, none of us will be here. And so we would have to worry about what we left here. You know, 70, 80 years from now, none of us will be here. So we have to worry about what we left here. And we got to do what is right. There's a lot of work that we have to do, and we can't do it when we're divided. We're divided because we have people who are worried about their status more than they're worried about the community. We have people that are worried about their money more than they're worried about the people in their congregation. So let's do what's right. If any pastors want to come on here and debate what I'm saying, then please feel free to call me, Charlie Brown, Sean, and anybody that's a host of this show so we can get you on. We're here every Wednesday at 7:05, and we're doing whatever we can to make things right in our community. Because guess what? We have a responsibility, one that you are shirking. So with that being said, tune into all our shows tomorrow and Friday and Saturday, and we will be out of here. Love you all.
And we
Tune
don't
in
use AI either.
Our Black Media Network. Our Black Media Network. Okay, we got everything for you. Good night, people.
And we don't use AI.
That's right.
Like this.